Expect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to fall completely off the fucking planet. Maybe sneak in for a wild card at the end of the year, where the Atlanta Falcons, now that they have a commanding lead on the division, have set themselves up nicely for a disappointing round 1 home game loss. As soon as the Vikings almost lost to the Jets, you knew this day would come. The day where the Vikings stack multiple losses in a row and prove that they're nowhere near the supposed Super Bowl contender that people somehow thought they were, after a few lucky breaks and one Kyle Shanahan patented choke job. All credit to the Vikings, cause coming out to start the season, God, they sure as shit has overachieved. And in a season where the Eagles, Bengals, Jaguars, 49ers, of course the fucking New York Jets, and how about them Cowboys, have all badly underachieved, it really does mean something to significantly overachieve this season. And who can't help but root for the redemption story of Sam Darnold? Sure, if you watch him, he's not exactly lighting the world on fire, but my guy went from looking like an all-time draft bust to now building a legacy of success, and my man is going to get paid at the end of this year. And what is it about the NFC North and offensive lines? You got the offensive line of the offensive Lions over there who obliterated the Tennessee Titans 52-14, and this Minnesota Vikings offensive line has been killing it as well. And say what you will about the Packers and not helping out their quarterbacks with top skill players, but I don't recall seeing Aaron Rodgers getting his head ripped off on a weekly basis either. And now that Jordan Love's there, you might have expected to see a little bit of a drop-off, but no siree. Still, if you watch the Vikings for more than a couple games, you can see that they're a team that's well coached. They certainly execute what they gotta execute, but I just don't think they have the talent to overcome better teams consistently. And arguably with their wide receiver core back, the Rams are a better team, or at least pretty close to an even match. Gotta also factor in the fact that we're almost half a season through, so the things the Vikings were doing the most successfully, I'm sure NFL coaches have already started on a blueprint to stop it. Can the Vikings adjust going forward? And as far as the Rams go, what, you thought there were only jet reclamation projects at quarterback? Well, we got one, an offensive coordinator for the Rams. Mike LaFleur is the latest in a long line of coordinators getting credit for holding Sean McVay's water. But who knows, now that he's actually learning from competent modern NFL minds, while simultaneously being more involved in the play design and play calling, maybe he'll grow into the role. Gotta ask yourself though, with Matt Stafford getting older and that team starting to age out in general, what lies ahead when the Rams have to rebuild? Well, if you truly believe LaFleur brother number 2 is more than just a water boy for Sean McVay and actually has a significant role in the development of players as well as a scheme in the play calling, you better pray he somehow learned how to actually develop players and cater his play calling to their skill set. Otherwise, whoever replaces Matthew Stafford in LA is another Zach Wilson in waiting. They've said for a long time that weatherman must be a great job, because one of the only jobs where you get paid to be wrong all the fucking time. But you know what? When I look at the weather forecast for the entire week, there's a pretty fair degree of reliability that when my phone tells me it's going to be sunny today, I don't end up drenched when I go out for a walk. The real best job must be NFL referee. It's a job where you could just clearly make up whatever the fuck you want on the spot. I just like to say, I think we should all extend a great deal of gratitude to the NFL, and we should really appreciate their charitable nature. What the fuck am I talking about? Well, clearly, in a show of exceptional humanitarianism, the NFL has decided to only hire referees from the Mr. Magoo School for the Blind. Sorry, Minnesota fans, chalk this one up as yet another gut-wrenching loss that leaves you insanely pissed off. What is that, number 875,221? But let's not forget, you guys were all the way back at your own goal line. Were you really going to drive the length of the field, punch it in, and walk away with a win? So as much as you could point the finger and blame the referees, and goddamn do they deserve a lot of fucking blame for that play, there's a little bit more to the loss than just a bad referee call.
I'm recording this ad in a sewer drain. I don't got much time left in this motherfucking sewer. Either a crocodile's gonna eat my fucking ass and finish me off, or the city's gonna realize I'm siphoning it off for electricity, and they're gonna shut that shit down. That's where you come in. You gotta like, comment, subscribe, share this shit around. Let everybody that you know about this channel. Those of you who have been following this channel might be thinking to yourself, well, if you need money so bad, stop making terrible gambling risks, you fucking moron. And to that I say, fuck you, mind your own fucking business, and donate $1,000 to my Patreon.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you take one look at the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you know that statement is not true. See, normally, you got a 50-50 chance of winning if you go up against another team, but compared to the horrendous Jacksonville Jaguars, the Green Bay Packers Packers are a bunch of genetic freaks and they're not normal. So in reality, the Jacksonville Jaguars got 33 1/3% chance and the Green Bay Packers got 66.6% chance. But then you add the referees into the mix, who have always traditionally favored the Green Bay Packers. And the referees know they gotta help the Packers, so they're not even gonna try to ref fair. And if you never heard Scott Steiner and his infamous math promo, you should go look it up right now, and you're fucking welcome. Of special note, the Green Bay Packers are officially cursed, and I will never bet on a game they're involved in ever again. I had Jordan Love for 200 yards. And naturally, right after he hits 196, the motherfucker gets hurt on what was damn near close to a non-contact play. Kid's been throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns every fucking week. So going up against a Jaguars team that thinks pass defense means to walk past your neighbor's yard, I thought, how could I lose? Well, apparently I chose the wrong quarterback, because the guy on the opposite side of the field that fucking threw for 300 yards and multiple touchdowns. Sorry, Trevor Lawrence. The second you got drafted to a cursed organization, your fate was already sealed. Doesn't matter how good or how bad you play, you're still gonna lose. How about that Josh Jacobs career revival arc, by the way? Another 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I guess it's easy to do when you're running against an uncoordinated Doug Peterson defense. A defense so bad that the only question is, do you want to penetrate them right down the middle or try to bang them around the sides? And is it true? Are them boys back? How about them Cowboys? Man, we got everything we could have wanted in this game. We got the Cowboys going up at halftime, giving their fans hope that maybe they could have unfucked themselves with a weak, underachieving 49ers team, a major competitor for both a wild card spot and playoff seeding. This was as critical as they come for the Cowboys. But if you know anything about Jerry's boys, when it comes to big games that actually mean something, they come up small as can be. Now, I wasn't in the Dallas Cowboys locker room during halftime, but given the fact that they gave up 21 fucking points and scored nothing in the third quarter, the halftime speech went a little something like this.
Alright guys, good job out there. But what I want you to do is every fucking thing wrong. Make me look like an even bigger asshole than Aaron Rodgers used to. Completely fuck this game up. Give Jerry Jones more reason to not only fire me, but have me executed by firing squad. And then let's do our patented thing where we score a little bit at the very end of the game when it's meaningless, and our stupid ass fans will get drunk and assume we could win in the future. Alright, ready? Break.
How does it always work like this with the Niners? They go up big, and in the fourth quarter especially, they try their best to choke the fucking shit away. You combine that with the fact that the Dallas Cowboys always love to score late when it's garbage time. So at the end of the year, you could talk about how good Dak Prescott's stats are, and forget about the fact that he never shows up when the game's still on the fucking line. We had both of those factors combining at the end of the game, as Dallas went on a 14-3 run. But I said it before with Baltimore versus Dallas, I'll say it a million times. Don't be fooled, Dallas fans. I know you drunk, but you better sober up real quick, because the reality of your team is they're an underachieving, pathetic, pussy-ass squad. I don't have too much to say about the Falcons and Buccaneers, but who would have thought one of the best quarterback duels of the year would have come from a game with Kirk Cousins and Baker fucking Mayfield? Too bad by the end of the game Mike Evans was hurt and Chris Godwin's probably done for the year. Expect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to fall completely off the fucking planet. Maybe sneak in for a wild card at the end of the year, where the Atlanta Falcons, now that they have a commanding lead on the division, have set themselves up nicely for a disappointing round 1 home game loss. The Chiefs beat somebody 27-20. I don't remember who. I guess I forgot. Just like Antonio Pierce forgetting to feed his fucking dogs that one time. Do I want to talk about the Carolina Panthers getting beat the fuck up by the Denver Broncos? Not fucking really. The only thing notable about the game is Bryce Young had to go back in. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, too short, too traumatized, and 2 scores down. They lose 28-14 to Bo Nix, throwing 3 fucking touchdowns. Where the fuck did that come from? Well, don't buy into the hype, Denver fans. It was fucking Carolina. At 1-7, the most interesting topic about the Carolina Panthers is whether or not they could secure a number 1 overall pick again. And will they keep Bryce Young, try to move on from him? Or will there be a player so talented at another position that they can't help themselves but draft that player number 1 overall? When you got as many holes as the Carolina Panthers, my recommendation, trade back and get as many first and second round picks as you possibly fucking can. Sorry Sorry, Chubba Hubbard. You're gonna have to hang in there through at least one more season of horrendous football. Hey, look, everybody. It's the Cincinnati Bungles going up against Philadelphia Eagles team that couldn't do shit until they played a terrible Giants squad. Well, the Bungles aren't terrible. They should show up. Oh, that's right. They're the fucking Bungles. This season, it's been a Jekyll and Hyde coin flip for the Cincinnati Bungles. Well, somehow they flipped a coin and yet landed on snake eyes. And that's not even the same fucking thing. But the Bungles can't even get that shit right. It was an absolute beating, 37-17, although it was a close game at half. That's maybe an understatement. Shit was tied at half. And at the end of the third quarter, it was a one-score game. But what's more Bungles than taking a close winnable game and falling flat on your fucking face? Hey, look, everybody. It's the Chicago Bears. Well, there's no way the Bears, with their excellent defense, their mountain of draft capital, and the better quarterback selection at number 1 overall, could possibly lose this game.